I started recording, Miss Peak.
Thank you. Okay, some more on the interpretation. Please click on the globe for interpretation. If you have problems, go ahead and put a question into the chat. We do have our DLI administrators here with us tonight, helping to navigate this meeting with us. So our agenda for the evening is to introduce the DLI staff and the Somos officers, give you city library resources. We have a speaker with us this evening. We have DLI pathways to discuss. We have Rosetta Stone, translator certification, gate options, and then a little bit of housekeeping at the end with some additional Somos DLI meeting dates. Okay, and there's my face. I'm Ashley. You already met me, DLI Somos president. There's my email address should you need to contact me. Down below, we have Allison Urungure. She is also a Washington and Poly parent representative. Allison, you can go ahead and unmute and say hi if you'd like.
Hi, I'm Allison. Nice to meet you.
And then at the bottom there, we have Jacqueline Murillo. She is a, actually this says Mountain View. She is a Washington parent representative. And Jackie, would you like to say hi?
Hello, everybody. This is Jackie.
These are the two parents that I have been building this group with that have been instrumental in making this successful and well-rounded, and they've been awesome. So claps for them. Moving on, you all should know Esther Garcia, our coordinator for DLI, English Learners TK through 12. Her email address is there. She is the lady behind it all that has been running this program for the last few years, I believe. We also have Patricia Thetford, who is completely important to the program, writing our curriculum and working right alongside Esther for DLI K through 12. And Esther, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I didn't let you say hi. If you'd like to unmute.
Oh, that's okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Esther Garcia, the coordinator for DLI. And I'm really, really excited that this group started. We've been planning for it for several months. And so enjoy. I think your board members have done a fantastic job designing this parent group. So thank you, board, for making this possible.
Thank you, Esther. And Patricia, if you'd like to unmute and say hi.
She is running a little bit late. She was with training some teachers, so she will be joining us as soon as she's done.
Okay. Well, Mrs. Thetford is wonderful. Senora Thetford, as many of you probably know her, she's been around the DLI program for a very long time. Okay, a little bit about us. Somos, if you're new to DLI, maybe you don't know, means we are. The goals of Somos DLI are to provide resources to DLI families to ensure success, to foster communication between school sites, parents, and district, to enhance engagement of all stakeholders, to encourage ideas and opportunities for students, and to develop a roadmap for families. Part of the reason this group was started was because I personally wanted a better sense of community within our DLI program. There's so many families and so many school sites. It felt odd that we didn't have a place to connect and share. And so that's really what this is about, and creating pathways to resources that are already out there in our community, maybe that some schools know about, some schools don't, and being a bridge to bring all of those things to each student, each school, each family, the best way we can. Okay, and now I'd like to introduce everyone to Yesenia Littlefield. I'm going to say this wrong, probably, the library supervisor for the SPC Jesus S. Duran Eastside Library. And she's here to speak to us about some of the resources available within our local library systems, and specifically also the Eastside Library. Yesenia, go ahead.
Hi, so yes, I am the supervisor. I'm also the library literacy coordinator for adults and family services. So I am here to present on our services, but on a personal level, I'm also a DI parent, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. So I'm here to share both resources and some resources that would help you navigate through some of the DI processes that we go through. So the first slide you see here is the map of the city of Riverside. Esther was good about providing you a map so you can kind of see where you live. There's 8 city libraries. The newest one that just opened is in the downtown library. It's the New Main Library. But you can kind of see the map and kind of figure out where you are. If you don't know, you can always call one of the libraries and we could definitely assist you in finding your local library. So you could move to the next slide. So I want to begin the presentation with just the basic resources. It could be overwhelming with how much we do provide. So I provided the link to our webpage, which is riversideca.gov/library. The very first thing is, what are our hours? So we provide you 2 services. The first would be our inside hours. You can officially come on into the library. We're welcoming anybody that wants to visit. We have a study table, so everything is basically normal. We ask that you always wear your mask. Kids also have to wear their mask when they come into the libraries. Our hours are from Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5 p.m. And we do provide curbside. So if you're not ready to come on in, we can definitely check out books to you over the phone and bring them outside. And that service is available to you from 3 to 5. But we're very lenient. So at any point that you can call during our operating hours, we will definitely come out and provide you curbside services. So now you know our hours. The next thing would be, how do I get a library card? Library cards are very simple to get. If you visit our website, there's, and I provided the little icon so you can see and familiarize yourself with what the page looks like. So you can click on the link that says get a library card. It's a very simple form. We just ask your basic information. If you're an adult, we just require a picture ID. And then if you're a child, an adult or caregiver can come with you and get the card with you. Once you have a library card, it gives you access to a lot of information. You get up to 25 items. Everything checks out for 2 weeks at a time. With COVID, we've been really lenient about fines. So really there's not many fines that go along. If you ever return anything late, you don't have to worry. We've been auto renewing, so we always renew for you at this point. So we're going to move on to digital content. And again, if you ever have any questions, we do have staff that speak English and Spanish, so you can definitely give us a call and we can answer any questions that you might have regarding library cards, hours. So we're going to move on to the digital content. So if you go through our website, if you click on the button that says online resources, it'll take you to a list of all the digital content. And I featured some of the more popular ones. The first one would be Hoopla. So this gives you access to 10 movies, music, books on CD or ebooks, comics, TV shows. So you get 10 per month. And you just need your library card. Everything's very basic. So if you have a library card, you just put your library card number. The next one would be our cloud library. For those, you get 5 ebooks or other online. You do have to have like a device. It could be your desktop computer. It could be your, I think it's the Amazon. So any kind of reading nook. The next one is Libby, and that gives you 2 magazines. I did feature one, so we do have a few in Spanish. And then everything, you can always change the language. So if you need Spanish, you can definitely convert it to where it shows you how to log in Spanish, a lot of Spanish content. The next one we have listed would be the accelerator reader. It does change the language to Spanish. So if you need to look up the AR reading level for your kids' books, you would just click on parent, look up the book title, and then it'll give you the information on what AR level it is. The next one would be Británica Escolar. So you can type in the search bar anything that you're looking for, and it'll bring up all the information in Espanol, and it's in for primary and secondary, and we also have full English. The next thing would be our BrainFuse Help Now. There is online tutoring that comes with BrainFuse. There's also a language lab in there that you can utilize. The next one I listed was Enki Library. So this gives you access to encyclopedias. This is for the older students, like library journals. So anything that you might need that's an added more, a little bit older, but there's all sorts of information there. We also have the Pronunciator, which gives you access to different languages, Spanish being one of them. And again, a lot of those you can click on language, like even our website, our web page, if you click on the very top, it says language, you can click on Spanish and it'll translate all the information into Spanish, so you don't have to necessarily just use English. And one more slide. So here, September is National Library Card Month, so we've been promoting that, but also our live in-person programs. So I listed some of them that might be a good resource for parents of younger children. We do have our story times again. We have on Tuesdays at the Casablanca Library, our bilingual story time in the afternoon at 3:30. We also have at the Orlando Library, Thursdays at 11 a.m. It's a bilingual story time, so you can show up. And it's English, Spanish, focusing a lot on the Spanish. I host the virtual bilingual story time. Those are bi-monthly, so it's the next one's going to be September 22nd at 11 a.m. and those run continuous. If you can't make it for 11, you can always access it for the rest of the day, or it's on there for a few weeks. We use Facebook and YouTube to feature our virtual programs. And it's not just bilingual, there's other programs online. Also on our webpage, you can click on the calendars event and they'll give you a PDF version of our calendars of events. So I featured September's. There's a QR code that you can click on your phone and that'll pop up the calendar on your phone, so you don't even have to print it out. There's link trees on there to make it more accessible and quicker for you if you need it. The other thing I wanted to cover was just some of the added services. So at the main library, Casablanca, we have 2 innovation centers, and those we provide different. So the library's been trying to focus a bit more on the STEM. So we've been providing these innovation centers that provide students, adults, teens, iMacs, iPads. There's a full recording studio at the downtown library or the main library. There's Crickets, Osmos, and those are available for you to use there and navigate through, learn about. So if you don't have computer access at home, you can definitely go there, use our computers. The other great thing we have right now is printing is free up to 25 pages. So if you go to any city library and you need to print reports, homework pages, the first 25 are at no cost to any library user. The other thing for the older students, 14 and older, right now it is on pause, but down the line we do have our volunteer program. So if anybody is interested in volunteering at the library or needs volunteer hours, again, at this point it's on pause due to COVID, but in the future you can definitely revert back to this information. And the last thing is for adults and families. I do the family literacy adult literacy program. Anybody who knows English but wants to improve, we provide tutors for adults, and then we also have programs for family settings. So October 13th will be our first family reading time. So what we do is work with adults and children, and then we provide the adults some literacy skills and literacy development information that helps kind of learn it in a family setting and then hopefully learn it at home. And that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Yesenia. We do have a couple of questions on the chat box. The first one is, do you have the ABC mouse available free for kids?
We do. We've had it for a few years. I just need to make sure that it's up to date, because I don't know with COVID if we still have it for free. So I can check back and update Ashley. But we used to have it, yeah.
The next question is, they want to know if your programs are available in Chromebooks.
Yeah. The programs like
I can speak to this. I know that Hoopla is
Oh, yeah.
available on the Chromebooks. My daughter, who's in 3rd grade, has been using Hoopla to access new reading material for her reading log that she has to fill out every day. But we've yet to do Cloud Library on her Chromebook.
So all our programs online are web-based, so you can access them as long as you have internet. And we also have iPads. So if you don't have a computer at home and you just have a Chromebook, but you need something extra, we do check out iPads now. We've been checking those out since December, but all you need is a library card. You do have to be an adult to check them out, but you can check out full-size iPads for 2 weeks. And those are, again, are free of charge. You just have to sign like a waiver that you're willing to take responsibility for it, and you can take it home. We're also going to start checking out hotspots at different libraries. So those are available as well for parents or any library user. So we're trying to kind of go over the hurdles a bit, and, you know, we understand where parents are. So we're trying to come up with ways to also help. You know, we're overflooded, you know, in the school system. So we're trying to take up a little bit of that burden by also trying to provide these things for parents and families.
Thank you. Another question is the printing 25 pages a day or a week?
It's a day. So per library card.
Oh, wow.
So we have a family and they each have one, and there's 5 of you. Each one of you can print out up to 25 for free. And again, that's through the COVID Relief Act funds. So then our director provided those funds because we knew families were in definite need of assistance. So then that was that was through COVID as well. We provided that for students, and then it carried over once we were open to everybody that has a library card.
Are there any bilingual story times that students could attend after school hours or on weekends when not in class?
So the best one for that one would be, I would suggest the Tuesdays at 3:30 if you're free. Again, well, if you want it in person, that would probably be the only one right now, the 3:30. Or if you have access to Facebook or YouTube, you can watch the ones I provide, and those are available all the time as long as they're listed on there. And I do focus on Spanish if you watch mine, and then I'll translate real quick in English. So it really does become a bilingual story time. And we do songs and read stories, and then a lot of focusing on Spanish development.
Thank you. Are all events indoors?
So in the calendar of events, you're going to find all our virtuals, and then also we have another added flyer for just in-person story time. So everything on the calendar is going to be either in person or virtual. And right now we only have virtual story times for the most part. So everything in person is going to be story times. We do have some other like Minecraft if your students are interested in that, more STEM based. But we're really rolling it out slowly since this is our first month of programming, but eventually we'll be adding more more programs.
And the last question, can the students access the internet at the city's after-school programs at the park?
I'm not sure about the parks because we're separate from parks, but you can definitely call the park system. But we're available for services until 5. Also, we've expanded our Wi-Fi range, so if you can't make it in the library, we do have Wi-Fi capability, so you can park in our parking lot, and I think it's on until 7. So even if you can't use come in at 5, you can definitely use the exterior for internet-based services. But yeah, if you want to contact parks, that would be my suggestion.
Well, thank you, Yesenia Littlefield, for all of the information about our local libraries. I'm always surprised how much you offer, what's available out there. You guys are doing really wonderful things for our community, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for listening. And yeah, we're in the same boat. We believe that, libraries are just another important element in our community. So we're trying our best to provide as much services as we can, and definitely give us a call if you have questions. Like I said, for the most part, we all have somebody that speaks Spanish if you need it. But yes, thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon at one of our libraries.
There, a last question kind of came in besides saying thank you. Is there any kind of transportation available to the library free of cost?
So we don't provide transportation services to the libraries. Sometimes so in the past we've had outreach events. With COVID, it really slowed us down, but we're starting to. So if like the school sites ever have events, they can definitely give us a call, and we could partner, show up. We can provide you library card services on site. So that's something that we can definitely discuss with the Somos group down the line, or just the schools in general.
That's good to know. We will be in touch, and hopefully we can continue to make more possibilities happen for our students and for the library.
Yes, us too. We're always ready.
Great partnership.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, I'm going to introduce Esther Garcia back with us, even though she's been here the whole time, to talk to us about our DLI pathways.
Next slide. Thank you, Ashley. If you can switch the slide. Okay, perfect. Okay. Parents, we just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the pathways. Our recruitment is coming up in October. The meetings have already been scheduled, and we are working on the flyers that we will be sending your way, and also to the schools. Part of the presentation is the explanation of the EAL pathways, because we do get a lot of questions about this section of our DLI program. So the DLI pathway is composed of 6 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 3 high schools. We currently do not have open Ramona High, University Heights, and John W. North. Those schools are pending expansion when we reach those grade levels. The way the EAL pathways work is if you select Castle View or Washington, for example, as your first choice when you apply for a DLI program, and you are accepted into one of these schools, you are basically making a commitment of a K-6 program in DLI, and you're also making the commitment to move on to Gage Middle School. And from Gage Middle School, you're making a commitment to continue in the DLI program at Poly High School. If you do want to keep, if you do want to stay in our program, it would be Poly High School. The pathways for Longfellow and Fremont are University Heights, and then onto North High School. We have not reached sixth grade at Longfellow or at Fremont. Therefore, Uni and North are not open currently. As soon as we reach sixth grade at Longfellow, which will be first, we will prepare University Heights to open the following school year. The pathways for Jefferson and Mountain View are Sierra and Ramona. We are currently right now planning with Ramona because Ramona is scheduled to open up next school year. So this is the commitment that parents make when they select an elementary school. Of course, if something comes up and you move, let's say from the Fremont area all the way to the Jefferson area, and it is just not possible, or it's not possible for you to take your child every day from one area to the next area, you can submit a transfer request. We do look at all of the transfer requests carefully, and we do honor transfers. That is something that we started doing last year, because taking a child from the Fremont area to the Jefferson area, for example, can create a true hardship, especially if both parents work and they have to get up early in the morning and they're rushing to get to school. We don't want the parents to drop out of our program just because you cannot take your child from one school to the next. So those types of transfers, of course, we do try our best to honor. But in the meantime, we do ask the parents that if you select one of our elementary schools, one of our 6 elementary schools, that you make the commitment to stay there, K6, and then move on to University Heights, and then move on to North High School, especially if you stay within their residential boundaries. Do you have any questions about our pathways? Okay, so like I said, recruitment is coming up very, very soon in October, and we will be explaining these pathways in a little bit more detail so that you can make the best choice for your first choice for DLI when you're applying. Okay, next slide. The next slide shows you the boundaries of our sites. So you might be wondering, why did they select the middle school or the high school for those elementary schools? It's because they're within the residential area. This map shows you that Mountain View and Jefferson are very close to the red star, which is our high school, and then our blue star is our middle school. And so when you look at the map, we did try to match the residential areas to the middle schools and the high schools to make it easier for parents, especially if you're the one transporting your student or your child to that school. And as you see, we cannot expect a parent who lives in the Fremont area to travel all the way to Jefferson, because it is not very close, and you probably would have to get on the freeway. And we all know our freeways nowadays are not very easy to drive given the heavy traffic. So for this reason, if you selected Fremont, you made your commitment, but all of a sudden you moved, just please let us know. We will happily ask you to request a transfer, submit a transfer. We will look at your situation carefully, and if we are able to grant you a transfer and space is available, space is the most important thing. If space is available at the site, we will definitely honor your transfer request. Okay.
Esther, we do have one question in the chat asking if there are plans to open 5th through 6th at Longfellow.
Yes, there are plans to reach 6th grade at both Longfellow and Fremont. Each year, we add a grade level to our sites. And when Longfellow reaches 6th grade, we will get Uni ready to open up DLI program.
Thank you so much, Esther.
You're welcome. I do see another question. What happens if families move out of state? Unfortunately, if you move out of our district boundaries, you can request a transfer if you move to another district, as long as you provide transportation. If you move out of California, then we will not, you will have to drop from our program, from our district. You will have to re-enroll your student at the new state. Every state has kind of their own little rules. We have the California Ed Code that we follow. And for that reason, we request parents, to enroll at your state where you're going to live.
I was muted. Thank you, Esther. I'm not seeing any more questions. Oh, wait, there's one, but it's in Spanish. Do you think you can translate, Esther?
Yes. My son is at Sierra, but she would like, to transfer to Poly when her child graduates from Sierra. This is something that you and I can definitely have a conversation about. However, if you do not move your residence, it will be very difficult for me to provide you a transfer to Poly because your school, your residential school will be Ramona High School.
Oh, and
Yeah.
one more.
Yes, University Heights will open our DLI program when Longfellow sixth graders promote to seventh grade, which I believe is in 2 more years.
Okay. Moving on to the next slide, and I think we have Mrs. Jacqueline Murillo to present for us.
Hello, everybody. We did see that there was a question regarding Rosetta Stone with the library, and we are really, really, really excited to communicate with you guys that we now have enough licenses for, if not most of the DLI students. So basically, if some of you, for some of you that don't know what Rosetta Stone is a language education program, and it's designed, to help teach like a different language with us, Spanish. Some of the benefits of this program is that it's available 24/7 anywhere that you have Wi-Fi, and it has great programs. This program was initially started in 1992, so it's developed so much to where it not only teaches you with words, but it's teaching you with pictures and different forms of learning. So what we are requesting for you to do is actually request the license through your teacher, and the teacher will give you the login information via email. The license will be good for 1 year, and it's a great way to learn how to practice, speak Spanish, and really get, make up for that time that, that we kind of lost in class. So yeah, we're really excited to share that and have that available for the students. And of course, have the parents enjoy one of the benefits of this program. Anything else you want to add, Esther, to that?
No, I think you did a wonderful job, Jackie. Thank you so much. So all I will ask is that parents, if you know your child is in need of Rosetta Stone to practice Spanish, please do not hesitate to ask your teacher for to request a license.
Well said. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Esther. Okay, moving on to another important piece of the DLI program, our translator certification, which occurs at the end of high school, and that's just now starting. Esther?
Yes, translator certification. We are receiving many questions about this wonderful opportunity for your students, for your children. Next year, when our 11th grade students reach 12th grade, we are really excited because it will be the very first cohort of DLI students that actually opened up DLI students 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I believe. So it's the very first group. They're going to be reaching 12th grade. When they reach 12th grade, they will have the opportunity to sign up to take classes to attain a translator certification. That means that they will have a certificate saying that they are fully bilingual, biliterate, and can translate. A translator must pass certain assessments, must have certain curriculum and studies to be able to reach a translator certification. For example, our translator that is translating for us right now, he had to pass some tests. He had to prove that he was a qualified and quality translator. So this is something that our DLI students will be able to attain. The translator certificate is part of their schedule next school year in the 12th grade. It will be part of their class schedule. The plans are the certificate class is offered at Moreno Valley right now. It's currently there. This is the nearest college that we can find that offers this certificate. However, I am opening some conversations to see, I'm crossing my fingers, to see if we can bring this wonderful program to RCC, because of course RCC is much, much closer to us and to your children. But our RCC does not have it for now. I want to say yet, right? Because we're hoping and we're going to work really, really hard with RCC. Benefits of the certificate are your child will be able to translate upon graduation from high school. The job opportunities that will be open for your children will be great. Because if you think about in California, we are such a diverse society with the language that your children are learning as their second language, being the language mostly spoken in California, right? So job opportunities will be open. Our court systems are always looking for translators. Our hospital systems, our schools. Right now, I can tell you that we are going to be short at least 5 translators. We're going to have 5 translator openings in our district. So we're always in need of translators. Your child will be able to expand their language skill in college. They can also major in college if they choose to go to college. They can major in Spanish and really expand the language. And they can translate for you, for the family. Sometimes we go to places where our language is not spoken. And so now you're going to have that opportunity that your child will be will hold this certificate as a translator, right? And you can have peace of mind that they're actually going to translate everything correctly. So this is a great, great opportunity that, yes, it is still in our plan. And we are working very, very hard. Both Mrs. Thetford and I are working very hard to make sure that this does happen next school year for your children. Any questions about the certificate for translation, for translators?
There's also a few questions about Rosetta Stone. Did you want to go back to that, or do you want to address them now?
Oh, we can address them right now, if you guys don't mind.
So the first question, can parents get Rosetta Stone account so we can learn how to help?
Unfortunately, we are not allowed to give parents an account for Rosetta Stone, but if you access Rosetta Stone at home with your child, you can be your child's partner and practice Spanish along with them.
Okay, I think this is pertaining to the certification. It's saying, how long is a program including classes and testing?
They will have a schedule set for them. I do not have a schedule yet for them. Right now, we do have a meeting schedule with the Moreno Valley College to see their schedule and to see the classes that your children will have to take. We will have all of this information before the end of the school year, so your children can be prepared. But cross your fingers that this program is not through Moreno Valley, but rather through RCC.
Is Rosetta Stone only in Spanish, or when registering, can the student select the language? Is it, it's a great tool for the EL students as well?
The great news is that we have 1,000 licenses for our DLI students to practice Spanish. Especially like Jackie explained, last year, your children lost some of the language because learning a second language virtually, we know was not as efficient, right? But we also have 1,000 licenses for our English learners. So if your child is an English learner, please talk to your teachers. For English learners, we are actually running out of licenses. We have maybe about 200 licenses left of the 1,000 licenses. Teachers do ask for licenses for our English learners, but I need to promote it for our DLI students because I don't think it's a program that we're used to having and using, but it proved very, very beneficial last year with the 200 licenses that we were able to provide. That this year, I pleaded with the district to please give us 1,000 because we know our children are going to need it. So take advantage, parents, request it from your teachers.
The next question, so they will be state certified interpreters if they choose to get the translator certificate?
Translator, they will have a certificate. They will be certified translators if they choose to take these classes and complete the program.
Also, keep in mind that good afternoon. My name is Mrs. Stafford. Just to clarify, the class that the students will be taking is a translator. They will receive a translator certificate, which will give them the opportunity to continue learning their skills and continue taking courses to be an official translator interpreter with a certification. So this is like the first step towards a certification, but they will receive a certificate as they're getting started with this program.
Okay, and here she is, Patricia Tedford. We introduced you earlier, Patricia, but I did tell them that you were with teachers, training teachers this afternoon.
Yes.
We have a few more questions. Are you guys okay, or do we need to save them? Keep going?
No, we can answer.
The next one, does this certificate equivalent to the same certificate at the community college given upon completion of 4 semesters of different courses within the Spanish program there?
That part we have not discussed with our college and career team. It is something that we have to talk to them about it. Right now, I think what's pressing more for me is to open up the conversations with RCC so it can be offered at RCC and your children or you don't have to travel to Moreno Valley if the sessions are going to be live. I think it's really important that we work with RCC to see if this is possible there. So that's my first step right now. And once we know whether they can provide it or not provide it and where our children are going to take the class, then we will start designing the coursework and the path towards it. And we will definitely be very inclusive of our college and career team to see if any kind of credits can be given to your children.
Thank you, Esther. We're continuing with questions. Are there DLI tutors available for students after school program or any additional resources for struggling students?
That's a very good question because Patricia and I were resumed conversations actually today about recruiting tutors. We will have 2 teacher tutors that we will be recruiting for our DLI students. They will be very specific to our DLI students. And we are going to resume the discussions and recruitment of tutors from our high schools. Last year, our high school students became tutors and it worked fantastic. We got very, very good feedback, very positive feedback. But of course, if we can get a certificated teacher to do this too, that would be of more benefit to us because they'll be able to work on the curricular areas or on the areas that your children are falling behind. So Mrs. Thetford and I did resume those conversations because we do want to make sure that the year doesn't run away from us without us providing this type of support. So tutoring, it is coming, parents. I'm just going to ask you to be a little bit patient with us because there are so many things that we need to do right now. But tutoring has made it to the top of our list as of today.
Thank you, Esther. For the translator certificate, do the students go to MVC? It would seem ideal for equitable access for all students to bring the translator certificate classes to RUSD campuses.
I fully agree with you, and this is something that if you guys would like, I can open up the conversation to with our administrators, because we do have many students that go through the seal of biliteracy. They're not necessarily in our DLI program, but they take the courses in middle school and high school to earn their seal of biliteracy. So it makes sense that if they're going through the coursework and they attain that certificate that is so coveted by so many students, that they can also participate in this program. I don't see why not, but it is something that I would have to talk to district administrators, because there might be a cost involved with it.
Thank you, Esther. Regarding Rosetta Stone, if we have 2 students in different grades, should we request a license for each kid from their teacher, or is it one per family?
No, each kid can request their own license.
Where can we get a list of Riverside County school districts that have this DLI program?
I believe you can go to the California Department of Education, and I don't know that they have a list of districts, but I know they have a list of districts. I don't know if they provide a list of the programs that their districts have.
I'm not sure if everybody's able to access the chat, but somebody did put a reference specifically if you can, and there's a link there, and she's saying page 5, there's a document that has the school sites. And so we have one more. Thank you, Esther, for that. Can we obtain English math workbooks? My student struggles with understanding the questions in Spanish. However, when in English, he can do the work just fine.
Yes, you definitely can request books in English. We can discuss this with our math department. And if we need to order a few books for our students to have as resources, we definitely can provide that.
Also, parents, I just want to remind you that you have access to the website for Eureka, and all the assignments and all the pages are available on the website in English for you. And you have access to the Eureka website.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Thank you, Ms. Thetford.
Okay, so it looks like we have one more that came in. Hi, what if our kids go to an elementary school that was our 3rd choice and not our home school? For example, Mountain View was my 3rd option, and that is where they attend. However, their home school is Magnolia. Will they be able to attend Poly versus Ramona?
Parent, you can email me. We did have many cases like this. This was before I came in, so some of the policies have changed. But if you were offered a 3rd choice and you were informed that yes, you can transfer, please call me. We are allowing these parents who were promised a transfer to transfer. We're not holding you to the EL pathways. However, if you accepted a 3rd choice, knowing that Ramona was your pathways, we will ask you to stay with Ramona, but we will not hold you hostage to Ramona. Of course, we will not. And just email me. We can have a conversation. And if a transfer is possible, because space is available, then we will happily grant you a transfer.
I'm going to interrupt here just for a moment because we did have a hand up from someone named Erica a little while ago. And then Jackie, I'll let you get back to the chat questions. And I think this was for you probably, Esther. Erica, go ahead if you're still here.
Yeah, the question was answered about the certification. So thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, back to you, Jackie.
Okay, awesome. Can you say more about the Eureka, where we can find that? Is it on Clever Apps?
We actually have a great surprise. Mrs. Thetford, she really is wonderful in creating a lot of resources for our DLI. She created a website. And what we can do is we can post the Eureka, all of the Eureka resources that you will need on our website. It will be very, very easy for you to access, parents. I believe that's the next page, Miss Peak.
Looks like we are moving on to gate options.
Oh,
but
gate
we will
options.
be touching more on the resources that Senora Thetford put together.
Yes. So, and we can definitely add the resources and the links that you will need to our website. Okay. Should we move on, Ms. Peak?
I think we can go ahead. We'll move on to gate options. And again, if anyone's with us now that has a question, please put it in the chat box. I think it's hard for all of us to catch the hands up, and that way we get an accurate readout of your question. Go ahead, Ms. Garcia.
Thank you. Patricia, please feel free to chime in on this one since we have you on now. Gate options for our DLI students. All students in second grade, including our DLI students, are assessed if the parent grants permission. You can opt out of the gate assessment, parents. But all of the students in second grade are assessed. If a student is identified as gate, the teacher will let you know, or the district will notify you. You can meet at this time with the teacher. And if you want your child to participate in all gate activities that our English only program provides, you can make that choice at that time, parent. However, our DLI program is designed with the challenges and rigor in mind that our gate students go through. Our DLI program not only challenges the students in learning 2 languages, which is not very easy for anyone to learn 2 languages at the same time, but our students are challenged by learning 2 languages. Our courses are advanced. We do not limit the students to below grade level courses. Our courses are advanced. And if our students need any form of intervention, even the interventions are at the advanced level to make sure that we are going to keep our students busy, engaged, and challenged. Rigor is at the core of our program. Rigor is not making things harder or more difficult. It's about challenging the students to be creative and to engage in critical thinking. So it's not about making harder. It's not about giving them 100 math problems. That's not rigor. That's just making the child's homework experience miserable, right? 100 problems is not okay. But it's about having them think deeply about math. So this is something that I know our teachers engage our students in. And our students are challenged academically daily. They are exposed to many of the real life experiences that the teachers use. They use videos, they use realia. That means they use real things to engage our students. And our students are challenged every day. But mostly the biggest piece for me that is important is that our children in DLI are challenged to learn the 2 languages. As you know, we immerse them in kindergarten, and if a child does not speak a word of Spanish, they are immersed into Spanish. And so using that second language and the critical thinking to determine what is the teacher telling me today. That's how we are challenging our students. They don't participate in the gate groupings that all of our schools have, because those groupings are English only. Unfortunately, we can't do that with our program because we don't have 3, 4, 5, classrooms from the same grade level. So it's easier for our English only program to group our gate students that way than our DLI. So we treat our DLI program basically as if everybody is gate, so that all of our students can attain and have access to the rigor and the challenging curriculum. I hope I answered your question. Next slide.
I think we We have a few questions. I'm gonna let
Okay.
Jackie go ahead and read them out to you.
Okay, going back to tutoring, you mentioned possible student teachers joining. Would that be an option available online? My daughter is in second grade and falling behind in so many subjects. Her current class size seems overwhelming.
We are going to have a combination of online tutoring and in-person tutoring during our after-school program. And in regards to our after-school programs, parents, you can take advantage of our after-school programs. Our coordinator, she works very, very hard to recruit tutors who are bilingual and our bilingual teachers, because she wants to make sure that if any of our DLI students participate in the after-school programs, that they will have access to bilingual teachers, to teachers that speak Spanish, and will be able to help them and support them in Spanish. But yes, we are looking at a combination of in-person and virtual.
Okay, are there resources to help our DLI seventh grade with math vocabulary in English? They come into middle school having never taken math in English, and many of them are unfamiliar. My middle daughter is lucky enough to have a bilingual math teacher who can help DLI kids, but my older daughter wasn't as lucky.
That's a very, very good question. This is something that I can have a discussion with our middle school teacher, I mean, not teachers, principals. If this is becoming an issue for our students, this is, not something that I've heard, then it's something that I can work on this matter with our principals to see what kind of support we can help, we can access that is very specific to our DLI students.
Thank you. Yesenia's, she just made a note that ABC Mouse is installed and available in our children's computers.
Oh, yay.
Children with library cards can use these computers.
Great, fantastic.
And somebody, this is our first year. Do we have to reapply each year, or is my daughter automatically enrolled?
Yes, you do not have to apply each year. Our DLI students automatically roll over to the next year.
Okay.
The only time that you will be filling any form out will be like an intent form for those students who are moving from elementary to middle school, and then from middle school to high school. Meaning that your intents are for them to continue participating in the dual language immersion program. So then we'll send an intent form for you to continue.
Yes. So Mrs. Thetford, you were cutting in and out. So Mrs. Thetford is correct. The only time you will have to submit a very short application is if you are transitioning from elementary 6th grade to 7th grade. We do ask you to let us know if you are going to continue in our program. And then from 8th grade to 9th grade, that's another intent form to also let us know whether you are going to continue in our program.
Thank you very much, ladies. We still have a handful of questions. So I'm knocking two of them out of the park with this one. They're asking the same question. My son was in 2nd grade last year and didn't get assessed for GATE. Will they do it in 3rd grade? And Nicole is also asking the same question.
Ooh, that's a question I will have to ask our English language arts department. They are the ones that handle the GATE. And due to COVID and all of the restrictions that we have, perhaps that's why the students were not assessed. So it is a question that I have to circle back to you.
Okay, actually there was like 5 questions right after that with the same, like what's gonna happen about last year.
Right, yes. To be honest, I did not even know that our kids were not assessed last year. It's a completely different department, and but it's something that I will have to look into and get back to you.
Thank you. So we have a question. So if they qualify for GATE, but we keep them in DLI, they will be tagged as GATE in Q?
Sorry, I know it's not Q, it's ARIS. I think you guys use ARIS. I apologize.
Yes, they will be identified in as GATE on their CUME record that we have for every student and on our ARIS system.
Thank you.
Somebody's asking why until second grade? Is assessment at the beginning or at the end of second grade?
It depends on the schedule that is set, because it's only a very small team of colleagues of ours that go to every single elementary school. We have 30 elementary schools. So when I was a principal, sometimes I was scheduled at the beginning of the year, and sometimes I was scheduled as late as March for the team to come and assess my students.
Thank you very much. We have a few, we got a few more questions. Would it be possible for you to send the link of the recording of the meeting?
Yes, the meeting, the recording will be posted. Hopefully Miss Ashley Peak will post it on her Facebook, and we will also post it on our very new DLI webpage.
And we'll be sharing the link for that at the end of the slides.
Thank you. There's a question in Spanish. ¿Cómo funciona el DLI en la middle school? I don't know if.
Yes. How does DLI function in middle school? In middle school, if you are transitioning from 6th grade to 7th grade in our DLI program, the majority of the courses will be in English, but they will begin their advanced placement coursework by taking pre-AP Spanish and science in Spanish. All other coursework is in English. Then they will transition into 7th and 8th grade. And in 8th grade, they will take their advanced placement Spanish, AP Spanish. And they will also have the opportunity to take the AP exam. If they pass the exam with, I believe it's a minimum of a 3 or a 4, they can, if they achieve a 3, a 4, or a 5, then they get college credit. They start earning their college credit. And they take history in Spanish. Science will be now in English.
Just to let every parent know that in 7th grade, they take their pre-AP and their world history class in 7th grade in Spanish. And in 8th grade, they take their AP Spanish and their science in Spanish.
Okay, I got it backwards. So sorry.
Thank you for that. Where are the after-school programs held?
The after-school programs are in most of our elementary schools. And I believe for our DLI schools, Longfellow, Mountain View, Fremont, Jefferson, and I believe Washington doesn't have one, and Castleview do not have one. But 4 of our 6 elementaries do have one. In middle school, they have what they call prime time, which is also an after-school program. And I don't want to misspeak for high school, but I believe in high school it's a different, completely different program.
Okay, are we still good with questions? Ashley?
Ashley?
How are we doing on time? Esther and Patricia, I don't want to keep you the longest. Should we maybe move on and we can collect the rest of the questions and reach out to those parents that still have them?
Yes, we can do that. It's 6:06.
6:06. So in keeping with time, we're going to press on. And a lot of you are asking questions about access to the Facebook group and to the website that we've made. And all of that will come at the very end. So sit tight. This is a readout of our next meeting dates planned. You can take a quick picture of this now if you have your phone handy, or simply access this on that same website where we will be posting the video of this meeting as well as the slide deck. So you can go through and get all the information that you might have missed. And again, sort of redundant, but our next meeting is October 12th. It's always going to be that second Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. And we will always post the meeting code and ID and link if we have it on our Facebook page. So you can just click it and go on. But it should be the same as listed here for every meeting. So that's kind of handy if you can save it into your Zoom platform That's helpful. I just learned about that myself. And here's that last slide. So I'm going to read through this really quickly, and maybe Jackie, you can copy paste those links into the chat. So our 2021-22 meeting dates, again, will be the second Tuesday of each month. Esther Garcia is our DLI coordinator. She is the lady behind all of this, that if you have questions specific to the program, she would be a great person to reach out to. Also, Patricia Thetford is another great person to contact. Her information isn't here, but it is on that first slide where we introduce everyone. That's me, Ashley Peak, the DLI president for Somos, and that's my email address. I am also a parent. I didn't say that. I'm a parent of a third grader and a, oh gosh, wait, fourth grader. I'm forgetting my kids' ages. Fourth grader and a kindergartner, both DLI. And if you'd like to access our Facebook page, you can search RUSD Somos DLI, or you can simply put in this link and you should be able to find us. And we are working on a new website that Patricia Thetford has set up for us. And it will actually have all of this information from our meeting today. We will catalog it for each meeting coming up. And we have a wonderful book list on that page as well. So if you click around on there, you will find it. And maybe we'll get into more of that at our next meeting. I hope everyone has had a great time being here with us. And I thank you so much, Esther and Patricia, Jackie and Allison, for all of your hard work in getting us to this point. I know there are a few questions in the chat, but I'm thinking that we'll probably close our meeting down now. And if you need to ask your question, you can go ahead and stay behind and we can try to get some answers for you. Other than that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate your support, and here's to a great year.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you for attending.
Thank you for
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Jackie and Allison. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you all.